What's up, everybody? I'm Brett Medlock here today with Mario Piaquadio.
Hello, everybody.
This is episode 2, part 4, is it?
Yes, part 4. Correct.
Yeah, of Franchise Chat, where we take one series and each part of the episode we talk about each entry in that franchise.
Yep.
This past month has been all about Batman Arkham, where we've covered every game leading up to Batman Arkham Knight.
All about that Dark Knight.
Yep, and just to start things off, how do you feel about the game, Mario?
All right. So, I like it. I definitely like it. Just quickly, I can definitely say it definitely has some really big issues, but in my mind, just the general scope of it and the story and the fun gameplay maybe overshadow it a bit. I can definitely say it's not my favorite of the Arkham series.
Yeah, same here. It's not my favorite, but I think it's great, honestly.
All right.
I had some issues with the pacing of the main story. If you're just doing the main story, which is what I did, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah, because
way too much tank.
that's like getting right into the negative. Before we get into the negative, you spoke about the main campaign. One of the things I like the most of this game is how they integrated the secondary missions.
Yeah.
Where you look up the police board and just try to get percentages up and lock up your criminals. All that thing with the prison and how you see as you progress through the game and as
they
you
all
do
show
more
up
and more
in your prison. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and the prison gets more and more populated. There's even a Riddler snitch basically inside the prison. That is probably one of the coolest things of the game. But getting into my negatives, the tank is definitely just why driving around Gotham feels awesome, awesome.
I like the Batmobile. I just don't like the tank aspect of it.
And that's the thing. I played through that game and I didn't mind the tank from probably the first half of the game. I thought that it's fun. It's not bad. The big problem with it is that they ram it down your throat so hard that it gets so annoying.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you're only focusing on the main missions, which is what I always did with the Batman games. I would always go back and do all the side stuff afterwards.
I can see that, yeah.
And when you're doing all the main story, there's so much tank. It sucks.
Yeah, they really rammed that thing down your throat. The tank combat, like I said, I think it's solid gameplay. I don't think it's bad, especially if you switch the controls, because the controls as they come originally are pretty bad.
Yeah. I think I tried changing them because I heard you're supposed to, but I was already so used to the bad way that I stuck with the bad.
Changing it made it way better. And like I said, I think it's fun, trying to skip the incoming missiles and all that. I think it's fun, but they just overuse it. That and the tank puzzles. They're just such a slowdown. You're after just awesome fights and awesome combat and just you're on a high note, and then some dumb puzzles when you have to drag stuff around with a freaking Batmobile. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
And tedious.
And anytime you're in the Batmobile and you're at high speed and you're doing something, it's freaking awesome.
It's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, I remember the most there were so much things that were so Batman about you're speeding down the road and then you jump out of your Batmobile, land on top of another car, throw a guy out, and then you fly back into your Batmobile. That was so awesome.
All that, yeah, it feels awesome. It feels just like the jump from Asylum to City did in terms of exploring and just feeling like Batman. The Batmobile is a really big part of Batman. but in that way, Batman doesn't do tank combat. That's not Batman. That's boring.
It
Uh,
just felt like a super bland like third person shooter with no like covering and no nothing.
yeah, it just was unnecessarily like it was just excessive. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, if it was like the same like combat in the tank, but just not used as much, it probably would have felt way more like
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely, I agree 100%. That's a big takeaway for sure. But honestly, I think what I am the most negative about, not necessarily negative, but the story. Now, let me just go on a small rant, and then I'll let you just go through everything. Like, I am a pretty big DC fan. I love comic books. I read comic books, and all the stories in the Arkham series up to this point were original and awesome stories with big twists like the Joker dying.
Yeah.
Right? Stuff like that was amazing. And the Joker's integration in this game was fantastic also.
So awesome. Oh yeah, like definitely one of the craziest things because no developer can seem to keep everything under the wraps, but all the way up until the game came out.
Oh yeah.
No idea that Joker was even in the game at all.
They did a great job at that. Like nobody saw that coming. It was
flipped
so
out, dude.
Yeah, it was so close. Like starting the game, it was probably like the second or third mission, and boom, Joker pops up, and you're
the
like,
way they did it too, like you're putting those bombs or something inside of some type of thing, and
it's
you
like
do it like 3 times. It's kind of slow, and you're like, what is this?
It's actually like 6 times, and by the 6th time, it's very slow, and you turn around, and boom, there's Joker.
He's like, miss me, and then he shoots you or something like that.
And the thing is, like, you go, oh shit, he's alive, because that's where your brain goes. And then how they integrate, like, no, he's not alive, he is just in Bruce's mind. And then they start developing on that, like, no, he's not just in Bruce's mind, he's also in his body. So, like, the Joker is still alive inside of Batman, which
Can't
is
have an Arkham game without Joker.
so brilliant. Like, the way they brought up the Joker, that is probably one of the best uses of that dynamic possible. Because it's the Joker is dead, but is he really? Because he's still taking control of Batman and all the other guys. And that's why that. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was super awesome how they decided to keep Joker alive even though he was long
just
dead.
so fantastic, and like how Batman has to constantly fight against the Joker taking over his body.
He pops up everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what's so amazing about the ending. When you're inside Batman's mind and you're like playing as the Joker, and then like that entire sequence, that entire first person sequence was so good because it was the Batman's biggest fear is becoming Joker, right, or letting the Joker win. And then after we see Bruce in such a vulnerable moment, we also see Joker in that exact same vulnerable moment when like Batman says like you're forgotten and stuff like that. And that's when he is finally beaten. That's awesome. That's all fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. The game, like, just in general, it did it did all, like, the side mission stories, like, really well, just like the rest of the games.
Oh, yeah. The side mission stuff is fantastic. But then, what I wanted to get to, yes, Joker stuff, just out of left field, fantastic stuff. But, again, I am so disappointed with
who
the Arkham
Red
Knight.
Hood ended up being.
With Arkham Knight, because if they would have gone out and said, yeah, it's Red Hood, like hardcore DC fans would have known. But one of the big things about leading up to this game and me being such a fanboy of this franchise, I was sitting in the nights just reading theories about who the
Who could
Arkham
it
Knight
be?
could be.
And it
Yeah.
was exactly who everyone expected it to
Oh,
be.
a lot. That's the thing. Those were a lot of theories, and I just kind of dismissed them because Rocksteady was saying like, yeah, it's an original story. So I was like, yeah, they're not gonna do that.
Which I thought was awesome, honestly, because I always talk about uh, how like I hate when they go exactly by the comics or something like that. I'm glad that at least it was a new character, the Arkham Knight.
Yeah, but that's kind of a cop out. That's my thing because I was so enwrapped in the mystery of who this guy is and why does he know so much, and then it started feeling kind of familiar, and
Yeah,
then when you go to that flashback scene with Jason Todd, I was like, oh,
of course.
this is Jason Todd, and I was slightly disappointed because I was like, I was expecting a big twist, like. This isn't a big twist. I got my big twist in the Joker being sent a main part of the game, but I set myself up for a big twist in the Arkham Knight identity, and what I got was just something I've already gotten before. So I definitely feel very disappointed at that part.
Yeah, I think it was kind of lame that like it was lame that it was the same story that we've heard before. I'm pretty sure I've seen an animated episode or movie that was the exact
Um,
story.
there's an animated movie which is based on a comic book series called Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. It all felt super familiar, but at the same time, who would the Red Hood like have been? I mean, who would the Arkham Knight have been?
That's the thing. That's what I like kind of wanted to know. That's why I was excited because they throughout the entire series they've done such a good job of throwing people off and giving them something unexpected. For example, like we said, the Joker dying. That's a big one. The Joker being alive and like kind of alive and at the end of at the beginning of night. I don't know. I was expecting something like, wow, really? Like maybe even Joker. Like yeah, it was a Joker. That's so far fetched, but something that would have blown me away. And yeah, I got through it. Like all right, yeah. Once I realized it was Jason Todd in that flashback sequence, I was like, that sucks. I was expecting like a big plot twist, but it's okay, I guess. Like.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So, a couple of things that annoyed me were the DLC rollout kind of made me mad because, like, the DLC that I bought like one or two of the story packs, and they're like super short. Like they could have just been in the main game. Like it wouldn't even have made that much of a difference.
I can see that. I didn't even got the DLC because it was mostly just cosmetic stuff, and I just didn't get the season pass or anything like that. The little stories here and there just felt kind of lame to me. The only big one was the last piece of DLC they released, which was like
Yeah.
a big meaty one.
They add a bunch of villains.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. But yeah, they added like Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, Ra's al Ghul, and something else.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I'm even gonna jump back into it. Like I love the Arkham series, but I might have had enough of it by now.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that. That is just, yeah, I love those games. I think this is pretty much it for this universe, especially with that ending.
Oh,
Against
that's another thing. The ending, you can't even watch the real ending unless you go to YouTube because there's no way you're gonna.
yeah, that's another like I get why they do that, but yeah, it kind of sucks that I got a part of the ending, then another part of another ending, and then like I had to go to YouTube because I wasn't gonna get all 5 million.
The Riddlers.
Yeah, 5 million Riddler trophies just for that. So yeah, I that sucks, but it's not like it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a little lame. So I
Yeah,
just yawned.
no, it's okay. For sure, for sure.
But yeah, I think the characters are done really well. The whole like the Batgirl thing.
Oh yeah, where you think she's dead for a big chunk of the game.
Yeah, that was actually like pretty sad.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and yeah, that was right at the beginning of the game when she supposedly dies, and Poison Ivy's death was also kind of awesome because like she died for good reasons.
Yeah, that was awesome. I
Yeah,
forgot completely about that.
she totally redeems herself at the end. And one of my favorite scenes, probably of the entire game, is I think it's like very near to the end when you're with Gordon and you're going up a building to take down Scarecrow. And that's when Gordon like turns on you, and you were like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
And he turns on you, he shoots you, but he didn't really try to kill you. He like shot you on purpose on
to throw
like,
off the other people, right?
yeah, throw off the other people because like Barbara was kidnapped and all that. That was just such a cool scene of throwing me off. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. And this is a random thing. The voice actor that plays him in this game is different than all the other ones. It's the bald dude from Breaking Bad. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
watched
yeah,
that.
but I think he does like a good job, to be honest. I like the more like scruffy voice of this
Yeah.
Gordon. It's
probably better, but I still hate whenever they change voice actors.
and that's that's another big thing about this game. This game being like the way to close out the series. It's kind of strange how they redesigned every character.
Yeah, it is.
They gave him an overhaul. They're familiar in some way, but they're different. They're different designs. It's kind of strange. You can totally put those games side by side. Like if you put City and Arkham Knight, and they're going for different vibes, which I'm all for. Cause why not?
Yeah, and I think that what's her name? The developer, Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, yeah.
I think the only reason why they should, if they're still making Batman games, which they might be, I don't know, but I don't think they should do another.
I hope so. Honestly.
Another Arkham game like this. If they do another Batman game, they gotta go to Batman Beyond.
Yeah, especially with that. Especially with that ending, I think the Arkham series is done for.
Yeah, and it could still all like connect with like the Arkham City, Harley Quinn, the pregnancy test. Like the Joker can be reborn with like, his son or whatever.
Yeah, who knows, man? Those guys are great storytellers, and one thing we haven't really even touched on is how absolutely beautiful this game is.
Yeah, it's really awesome looking. It's really dark though, so it's hard to like. I don't know.
It's dark, but that's Batman, you know. And I really appreciate how it's raining through the whole game.
Yeah, it looks super like gritty and like realistic.
Yeah. It's just a dark atmosphere in general, and I appreciate that. It just feels oddly fresh.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, my first reaction when I first booted up, I was like, this doesn't look that much different than like Arkham City. And then I went back and played Arkham City, and I was like, oh yeah,
oh no, it looks very different. Yeah, it's a beautiful game, for sure.
Yeah, like the textures and like the people's faces and their skin, just so good.
And just like seeing the back cow, like those physics are overhauled in a way that I don't even understand, but it's fantastic.
For sure. And like when Poison Ivy is like her fumes everywhere or some type of fumes. There was like bombs or something.
Yeah.
In the city, do you remember how good that looked?
It looked amazing. That entire end sequence where there's like gas all over the city, and when Poison Ivy goes and helps you, it's just beautiful and it's scary. Like the first time you go down and the entire city has been like poisoned, there's such a big, overwhelming almost sense of looking down at the city that you've been spending hours and hours exploring and just seeing a big cloud of death.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think it's awesome. If I had to rank it on the Arkham board, it would unfortunately be like probably my number 3.
Okay, but, I can see that.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. It might even be my number 4, but it's like comparing like amazing games, so they're all amazing.
Yeah, I think it's my number 2. I think that and Asylum, City is my favorite, and I think that and Asylum have like a pretty close spot in my mind. And one thing that is just me geeking out, I adore the Batsuit in this game. It just looks so cool.
Yeah, it does look awesome.
I'm kind of ashamed to even begin to tell you how much I just paused through the game and just looked around and shifted the camera a little bit just to get a look at that awesome Batsuit. It's so cool.
It is awesome. Like, it just looks badass.
It looks, yeah, absolutely. I like that game quite a bit.
Yeah, me too. Do you have anything else you want to shed on this game? This is our final Batman game.
Oh yeah, this is sad. Batman. Especially not with like the Batman Arkham VR thing. I'm so excited for that.
Actually, we will do a video on that and just attach it to this thing or whatever.
Yeah, we could, or just do like because that comes out in October, so yeah, probably way down the line. Anyway, yeah, Batman. I just want to congratulate and simultaneously thank Rocksteady for doing
WB Montreal
and WB Montreal. Yeah, but for like they were the ones to prove that you can make a fantastic game based on a license.
Yep. And then South Park showed them that they could keep it going.
Yeah, just honestly, Batman Arkham City is one of my favorite games of all time. I think that game is on my top 10.
Batman Arkham City is like one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, it's on my top 10 for sure. I adore that game. I have played through that game probably 6 or 5 times.
Just 6 or 5.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think I played through it 2 or 3 times. Not completely in its fullness, but I played it a lot.
Such an awesome game. Love it so much.
So yeah, every Monday we do franchise chat, but now we need a new game series. We've been talking about The Walking Dead, the Telltale games. We might do something else. We're not sure yet. Leave a comment below if there's a series you want us to do. We will literally talk about every title.
Yes.
So yeah,
we can do like if we run out of ideas, we can do Assassin's Creed and have like probably 3 months of work.
We really will. That's what's funny.
Yeah, exactly. So we have like the rest of the year figured out.
We can play more games, so then we can do more franchises.
Exactly. That seems like a good plan.
You gotta play Mass Effect, man.
I want to. I'm fucking waiting on them to do a fucking remaster so I can play them.
They need to now that it's delayed. They should be coming out this holiday.
Why won't you do that? Like you need to do that. Oh, BioShock. We should talk about BioShock.
I actually just made a status and someone commented on it and said BioShock.
There you go. BioShock is not a bad one at all. But I think we should wait until the remasters so we can just like play them again and have them fresh.
Refresh.
Alright, BioShock is in the future, people.
For sure. And I am Brett Medlock. You can follow me on Twitter at BrettNLL or PlayStation Enthusiast at PS Enthusiast. What about you, Mario?
I am Mario Piquadio, and you can find me at Twitter at Mario Not Bros.
Awesome. Leave a comment below. We love you guys. We just passed 500 subscribers for the second time after the YouTube purge.
Yeah, so that's awesome, actually. Thank you again.
Yep, and we will talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, awesome.